Have you ever watched an older couple sitting together at a restaurant, not talking much, just quietly comfortable in each other's presence, and wondered what it is they actually have? Not the fireworks kind of connection, but something steadier, something that looks almost effortless from the outside. And then maybe you've thought back to relationships in your own life that started with so much heat and promise, only to quietly cool off within a year or two. If you've ever asked yourself why some connections deepen while others simply run out of fuel, you're circling one of the most misunderstood questions in all of relationship psychology. Most people believe that keeping a woman interested means keeping things exciting, keeping her guessing, staying just unpredictable enough to hold her attention. It sounds logical. It's also, according to researchers who study long-term attraction, almost completely backwards. There's a specific kind of closeness, one most men never learn to create on purpose, that does more to build lasting desire than charm, status, or grand romantic effort ever could. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what that closeness looks like, why it works on a biological level, and why the men who master it become the ones women find almost impossible to stop thinking about. So stay with me, because the final piece of this is going to change how you see connection entirely. Let's pause here for a moment, because if you've ever felt like you were doing everything right in a relationship and still watched the distance grow, I want you to know that feeling is far more common than you think. So many people spend years trying to figure out what went wrong, replaying conversations, wondering if they said too much or too little, wondering if the spark was ever real to begin with. None of that means you failed at understanding people. It usually just means nobody ever explained how attraction actually works beneath the surface. What you're about to hear isn't something taught in school or passed down casually at family dinners. It's something psychologists have only recently been able to explain clearly, and once you hear it, you'll probably recognize it in your own past relationships instantly. Here's the belief we need to gently take apart. Many of us grew up thinking that women are drawn to mystery, to a man who keeps a little emotional distance so he stays intriguing. It's a popular idea in movies and it sounds sophisticated. But when researchers actually study what keeps women emotionally invested over the long run, distance isn't the ingredient. Closeness is. Specifically, a very particular kind of closeness, the feeling of being truly known by someone, not performed for, not impressed, but known. That single shift in understanding is the foundation for everything we're about to explore. Before we go further into how this actually plays out day to day, if you're the kind of person who likes understanding what's really happening underneath human behavior, this channel is built for exactly that. Subscribing helps you keep learning alongside us, and trust me, the next part is where this really comes together. Let's start with the first layer of this, something psychologists refer to as emotional disclosure. The quiet act of letting someone see the parts of you that aren't polished. Imagine a woman sitting across from a man at dinner, and instead of the usual surface talk about work and weekend plans, he mentions something that actually still bothers him, an old regret, a fear he rarely admits out loud. In that moment, something shifts in her. She's not just hearing information, she's being trusted with something real. Neuroscience tells us that this kind of authentic sharing triggers a release of oxytocin in both people, a hormone tied directly to bonding and trust. It's the same chemical released during physical closeness, which is why emotional disclosure can create intimacy just as powerfully as any physical gesture. The lesson here is one worth remembering. A woman doesn't fall for the version of you that has it all together. She falls for the version of you that lets her in. Think about it honestly. Has there ever been someone in your life who opened up to you in an unexpected moment, and you found yourself feeling closer to them almost instantly? Now here's where things become even more interesting, because emotional disclosure only works if it's met with something else, something psychologists call responsive listening. This is the second layer, and it's the one most people get wrong without realizing it. Picture a woman telling her partner about something stressful that happened during her day. One kind of partner half listens while glancing at his phone, offers a quick fix, and moves on. Another kind of partner puts everything down, looks at her, and simply says, "That sounds like it was really hard. Tell me more." The second response feels almost too simple to matter, but it changes everything happening inside her nervous system. Feeling heard activates the brain's reward circuitry in a way that feels remarkably similar to physical affection. It signals safety, and safety is what allows desire to exist without static in the background. The takeaway is unforgettable. Listening isn't the passive part of connection. It's often the most active form of attraction there is. Have you ever noticed how being truly listened to by someone can feel more intimate than almost anything else they could say to you? But there's something most people never notice, something that ties disclosure and listening together into their most powerful form. It's what researchers call emotional attunement under pressure, meaning how a couple handles closeness specifically during conflict or vulnerability, not during the easy, comfortable moments. Picture a disagreement, the kind that could easily spiral. Instead of getting defensive or shutting down, one partner pauses and says, "I don't want to fight. I just want to understand what you're feeling." That single sentence, delivered with real sincerity, does something remarkable. It tells the other person's nervous system that even in tension, they are still safe, still valued, still seen. Psychologists who study long-term couples have found that this specific skill, staying emotionally present during hard moments rather than retreating, is one of the strongest predictors of lasting attraction and relationship satisfaction. It's not the absence of conflict that keeps love alive, it's how connected two people remain inside of it. This is the quiet secret behind relationships that grow stronger with age instead of wearing thin. The couples who last aren't the ones who avoid hard conversations, they're the ones who stay close during them. So here's where all of this comes together. Disclosure teaches a woman she is trusted. Responsive listening teaches her she is valued. Emotional attunement during hard moments teaches her she is genuinely safe, not just when things are easy, but especially when they're not. None of these require charisma, wealth, or perfect timing. They require presence, the willingness to actually show up emotionally instead of just physically. And when all three are present together, something happens that no amount of surface-level excitement could ever replicate. A woman doesn't just enjoy being around a man, she finds herself craving the depth of being truly known by him. If there's one thing worth carrying with you from everything we've explored today, let it be this. Real desire isn't built on mystery or performance. It's built on the courage to be known and the patience to truly know someone else in return. That kind of closeness doesn't fade the way excitement does, because it isn't chasing a feeling, it's building a foundation. Wherever you are in your own relationships, whether you're just beginning to understand this or you've felt it quietly at work for years without a name for it, I hope this gave you language for something you already sensed was true. If this gave you a new way of seeing connection, I'd love to hear which part resonated with you most in the comments below. And if you want more thoughtful, grounded insight into how people really connect, consider liking this video and subscribing, so we can keep discovering these ideas together.